welcome to the Jim and John pregame show. Tonight's matchup is a battle of two new first-year head coaches, Chris Aberay versus Marty Nell, North Fond du Lac versus Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Both teams are off to a rough start, but WLA looks like they have strong potential with their twin towers in Lorenz and Kiel, and the outside shooting ability of Zach Wright. On the other side, North Fond du Lac has a very good 6'5", 4-year varsity player in Dawson Wood-Sadalik, their leading scorer. Can North Fond du Lac's Dawson carry the team, or will the slashing play of WLA's Herkstroder and Schmitz carry WLA to a victory? Well, we are about to find out, so here we go. Today's broadcast is copyrighted, protected by the Jim and John Show, but we want our WLA families to share it. The opinions expressed during the Jim and John Show are ours, and not WLA or any other affiliates of WLA. So, go ahead and enjoy today's broadcast. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and get the notifications of upcoming games. See the link below to find how and what it means to subscribe to the Jim and John Show.
And now, it's time to meet your WLA Vikings. At forward, 6'3" junior, number 1, Alex Eel. Also at forward, 6'2" senior, number 24, Eric Schmitz. At center, he's 6'7" and a junior, number 33, Noah Lorenz. At one guard, 6'2" junior, number 10, Mason Herkstroder. And at the end of our 5'8" senior, number 12, Zachariah Wright. The head coach of the Vikings is Marty Nell. He's assisted by Craig Schwartz and Mike Stromdottel.
Well, Jim, it's basketball time again. Here we are. WLA takes on their crosstown rival, North Fond du Lac. Both teams, Jim, have been struggling a little bit to get some wins on the board, and WLA is looking forward to get some wins on the board. The starters, as you saw, are usual starters with the exception of Eric Schmitz coming in. His foot is feeling a little bit better, so he'll be starting tonight. We have our big boys. Noah struggled a little bit to finish the ball in the last game, but I saw some good things across the board. So, Jim, it's good to have you.
Interesting big game tonight for a couple of reasons. WLA looking to get off the schneid here, get a W, and we're back in conference action. Very important conference game here, especially at home for the Vikings.
North Fond du Lac's got the ball to start off with. WLA's defense is moving pretty well tonight. Staying with her guys. Zach Wright staying right with him.
Straight man-to-man so far.
Yeah, look at the matchup here, Jim. Some of these matchups, boy, it looks like we got 5-6 inches on them. Here's North Fond du Lac's first attempt, and they turn the ball over right away for the first turnover of the night. The other night against Ripon, WLA struggled a little bit to hang on to the ball. So hopefully tonight we'll be able to see WLA hanging on to the ball. Herkstroder bringing down the ball. I like him bringing down the ball and letting Wright play off and maybe get those threes off and that outside shooting ability.
Yep, right away WLA goes inside using the height advantage. And Noah Lorenz misses a short one, but that was a good look for the Vikings, first time down.
North Fond du Lac kind of moving the ball a little bit, a lot of passing, not much looking to the hole, Jim. They're satisfied to stay on this outside. There's the first opportunity that they take a look. Tough shot, ends up way short. WLA picks up the ball. Yeah, I like what they're doing. So Zach's down in the corner there. Herkstroder bringing up the ball with Schmitz up on top with him. These two guys are slashers, Jim. Both Schmitz and Herkstroder.
There you saw that exact thing, John, by putting
yeah, both guys up on the wing and let them go.
Yep.
I like the setup offensively.
Yeah, by putting Zach right in the corner, that gives Herkstroder a wide open lane down the middle for a drive there.
North Fond du Lac moving the ball around. Their offense is pretty. Oh, and the first block of the night.
Good help defense there.
Oh, I like how they're pushing the ball a little bit, Jim. Oh, a clean steal. WLA inbound play. Jim, when we saw him play against the Springs, how many blocks? Noah Lorenz had a lot of blocks that night, and he starts off already with one.
Yeah, we saw in the fast break there Noah Lorenz being able to handle the ball, and that's unique for a 6'7" kid.
Schmitz fouled there, no call. If there's one criticism I have is that they got to get tougher underneath the basket. They got to find a way to finish the ball. Yeah, I know guys are hanging on your arms and so forth, but that's probably my only criticism getting down low. Got to finish. Swinging the ball around nicely. Zach taking it to the hole. First turnover for WLA. Oh, North Fond du Lac, are they going to get turn back right over to WLA? Takes it to the hole. Nice finish. Coming in with Schmitz.
On the previous possession, you saw the golden rule of don't leave your feet, and Zach didn't. It cost him a turnover.
Yeah, hang on to your dribble and don't jump if you don't have to. Schmitz playing really nice defense here, staying right with the guy.
Number 5, Dawson Woodsdale, like he's, I think, a 3 or 4 year starter. Good-looking kid.
Boy.
Right on cue there.
Right on cue, Jim. He hits it. Yeah, he's their leading scorer, and he's been in the program, like you said, quite a while, playing at a varsity level. A lot of these kids get to play varsity when they're sophomores or even freshmen because they don't have a lot of kids. Not a lot of kids play sports, it seems like, in North Fond du Lac. Herkstroder takes it to the hole. Nora Lorenz picks it up. Early call. I thought he was going to call it on the floor, Jim, but it's actually a shooting foul, and it looks like they're going to count it.
Kind of a weird little exchange there. The referee underneath the basket's 2 feet away. You can hear it, you can see it, but his partner from out at midcourt had to call that one.
And WLA continues to struggle a little bit at the line. I know they're going to be working on that over the Christmas break. You know, you come off of a sport, and a lot of shooting free throws is a lot of time in the gym. Schmitz takes it from the corner, in and out. That's always a tough basket down there. I don't know if it plays tight or what, but I see a lot of those shots rim out like that. It's unfortunate right now. North Fond du Lac's beating WLA 5-4 early in the game.
Good to see Zach Wright with a little overplay there. Up the first 5-6 minutes of this half, WLA's man-to-man has been somewhat passive. They're not overplaying. They're not forcing baseline. They're not doubling. So they're playing a little bit heads up, but I see a little more pressure now last couple times down.
Another turnover.
Turnover, yep.
That's North Fond du Lac's third turnover already, 3-1. Like to keep that going. Yeah, I like these two guys up top. Let them both slash to the hole. These front guards here, Jim, are really small. Both our guys are like 5 inches taller. They should be able to just take it right in. Herkstroder looking, bad pass, turnover on WLA.
Once again, jumps in the air, nowhere to go, turnover Vikings.
Yeah, a little bit better decision making. Drive the ball if you don't know what to do. There's another turnover. Boy, Jim, this is the first very sloppy first 7 minutes for both teams.
You know, if we were playing the old 4-quarter system, we'd almost be done with the first quarter at 5-4. That's crazy low scoring.
Yeah, I haven't calculated, but I think the game goes faster when it's just 2 halves. At least that was the intent of it. Nola Renz looking, turns around, makes a good play, Jim.
Okay, here we go. Full court pressure. Let's see if we're straight.
Oh, look at that turnover right away.
To us.
Could have been a foul and 2. I like the pressure, Jim.
Yeah. Just a surprise there got us an easy basket.
Yep. And a timeout. North Fond du Lac coach definitely doesn't like it.
First of the evening. They have 4 timeouts remaining.
Chris there wants to take a timeout and talk about it, get his team ready for the pressure, Jim. I liked what Noah Lorenz there. Got it low, actually went up strong and did something with it and finished.
Yeah, did you notice how he settled himself there? Got his balance, made sure those shoulders were square, and then finished. That's a key there.
Yeah, finishing is, what they didn't do the other night very well, but then Schmitz follows up with a real nice finish right at the basket. Let's hit the box, let's put it in, let's go up 8-5 with 12 minutes and 44 seconds in the first half left. WLA up 8-5.
Sometimes these kids, especially at this age, think you got to go quicker, and it's better to go slower. Take your time, make sure everything's good, and then go up strong.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing on ice. Slow down a little bit. Get your wits about you. And when the weather is dry and the weather is nice, then go full speed.
Well, I always used to tell your son Jordan, his senior year when I coached him, that the speed limit on defense was unlimited, but he had to slow it down on offense.
A little bit of dribble drive. WLA takes the ball away. Noah Lorenz sees it, and a kick. He was watching that pass all the way down, Jim. You could, if this was football, I could have intercepted that pass, but he wanted to get it down there. Would have liked to seen him fake it and then take it right in. Ooh, and a foul? No call.
Ooh. Yeah, he missed that, and he stepped on the half line, too.
And
a 3.
Mason hits a 3. Herkstroder.
Yeah, I watched the boys play up in Minnesota last weekend. Both games were televised on MLC TV, so got to watch them quite a bit, and I saw some really good pressure defense, both full court and half court, so I'm anxious to see if we'll see that tonight.
Yeah, I like how they are closing out. Schmitz did a perfect textbook closeout there. Instead of running at the guy 100 miles an hour, it was fast for the first 2/3 and then a little choppy step to come in. Oh, finish that. Too bad. Mason Herkstroder driving it to the hole, getting fouled. But before, not during the shot.
Back in for the Orioles, number 2, Tony Reyes.
Yeah, Jim, we got Kuliberg came in while Brennan Kuliberg came in, number 5. Got a couple of small guards in right now. Oh, that looked like a set play, Jim.
Yeah, right up. Tough shot, straight on. Zach knocks it down.
And a turnover.
turnover.
Yep, Zach works hard and puts a little ball pressure on Jim. They get the ball right back. WLA making a little run here, Jim. Like to see him slash a little bit. Oh, he's hot and he's feeling it. Oh, in and out. Nice rebound. Alex puts it up, but that's what we were talking about. You got to finish those.
Yeah, don't fade away. Don't expect to get fouled. Go off the glass nice and strong.
North Fond du Lac puts up a banker.
The Bank of North Fond du Lac's open late.
Yep,
on a Thursday.
Maybe it's the Horicon Bank. I'm not sure what, but somebody called bank.
Interesting with the nice pass.
Oh.
The first substitution we saw, John, was a 5'11", 6-foot kid for a 6'7", but that's the versatility of WLA. They got a lot of kids that in that 6'2", 6'3" range that can play different positions.
Oh, boy, got out-rebounded there with a nice pass inside and a foul from behind. Looked like Alex. I don't want to blame him, but that's what it looked like to me. And it was. Oh, excuse me, Herkstroder.
His first Viking team foul first half.
Here comes another Luke Schlavinsky coming in, Jim.
It's probably about as small a lineup as you're going to see WLA. Basically 3 guards, 2 forwards here.
Yeah, North Fond du Lac continues to work it around the perimeter, trying to be patient, and another turnover, and a little wrestling match on the ground. For a while there, WLA was turning it over just as much as North Fond du Lac. Now it looks like, if my math is right, Jim, 7 turnovers for North Fond du Lac, 2 for WLA. That could have been another one there. Jimmy drug his foot.
Yeah, there again, Mason Herkstroder's always in just a little bit too much of a hurry to get rid of that ball. He's got to slow down just a touch.
I like now. That's where I feel he's very good, is when he tries to take it to the hole and concentrates on that finish, he does well.
Viking defense much more swarming now, double teaming, very aggressive.
Jim, you're kind of the expert on this, but it looks like North Fond du Lac continues to play their same offense every single play. Doesn't look like there's much deviation in it. And maybe that's why WLA is picking the ball off, and just is very predictable in my opinion. Kuliber puts one up, a little bit in and out. Luke Lashavinsky tries to get it up in the air. A little bit of a foul, they let it go.
Oh, that was like hand-to-hand combat there for 20 seconds.
The referees are saying, where's my remote starter? It's cold. Let's get home. They're letting her go tonight, Jim.
Interesting to your point about North Fond du Lac's offense. That, you know, they've got a new head coach this year too, John, so we don't know a whole lot about what his theory is. This could be a 4-pointer or more.
I love 4-pointers.
Nope, it's on us.
Oh, basket's good for us, but it was a foul down underneath.
Called holding on one of our guards. I thought that was 10 yards.
You like to see hard rebounding by guards. That's when you say everybody rebounds. North Fond du Lac with the inbound. WLA up 21-8, Jim. Just what, Zach Wright, how many turnovers has he created?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, John O'Connor there got mixed up in a little battle there.
Well, Zach's using his quickness today. That's probably his best weapon.
Eric Schmidt's still in. His foot, again, looks like it's feeling a little bit better. He's getting quite a bit of minutes here.
Yeah, he's moving well. He's cutting. He's getting off his feet, so looks good right now. And he's drawn the best player for North Fondy.
And he's doing a nice job against them because they've only put up 8 points in 10 minutes. That isn't a whole lot, Jim. You're not going to win many games when in 11 minutes you put up 8 points.
Well, I think we're pretty confident that North Fond du Lac's not going to finish in the top couple in the conference. So it's an important home game, being a conference game. Build some confidence, get some depth built up on your bench, maybe work on your rotation a little bit, because there are some tougher games coming.
And there's a good example of, you got to cut that baseline off, Jim, or get them out of bounds. Don't let them drive that baseline and put it up against the backboard. A good free throw shooter.
Yeah, you can tell he's got some skills. Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice looking free throw shot. Looks so automatic. There's Zach. Zach's 2 for 3 on 3-pointers. It's amazing to me. He is really an important offensive weapon. Even against Ripon, he put up a couple of nice threes in the second half. Dawson's heating up a little bit, Jim. That's 5 points since I said that they didn't have many. Here comes Zach Wright again, driving. And Noah Lorenz up and missed that. Luke Slavinsky.
A lot of hustle there.
Yeah, with some hustle. Noah Lorenz fighting for the rebound. What is that? 3 offense. Oh, and then a pick. And another block. And another turnover.
Yeah, it was a block, but we had 2 guys standing there and did not box anyone out. That's kind of been a Achilles heel against the better teams this year, is boxing out. So I'm sure Coach will address that.
There's a foul there. I like that he did a bounce pass into him, Jim, to give him an opportunity. I mean, that mixes it up a little bit. Yeah, a lot of bench play tonight.
Yep. Zach Schrader in for the first time for the Vikings.
Yeah, good to see Zach get a little bit of time. Not only do you got to come in, you got to play hard, Jim. Looks like a set play here coming across. Wanted to shoot that ball. Oh, look down. John O'Connor wide open. He didn't quite see him. You got to be looking down for the big guy. Right there he is. Get it to him there. Now take it to the hole, and he does, and he finishes. Just like we want to draw those up, Jim. Get him down deep in the post and let him go.
You know, I think that Noah Lorenz might be a better player from 10 feet out than he is from 2 feet. Because when he faces up and then he takes that dribble, he's tough to slow down.
Yeah, he is a point center, isn't he?
Yeah, very valuable to have a kid that can do that.
There he is again. They get him right to him at the elbow. He fights his way in and finishes. Good for Noah. That's 2 in a row. WLA up 27-14 with 6 minutes and 33 seconds left. And coach from North Fond du Lac says, hey, I don't like where this is going. We made a little bit of a run. Now WLA's taking it to us a little bit.
60-second timeout is taken by the Orioles. Their second timeout of the evening.
It seems very apparent, John, early on that not only does WLA have the superior talent, but they're a way deeper bench. They've probably gone, 10, 11 guys already with no drop-off.
Yeah, we've seen just about everybody in. A couple that haven't. I did get a little news on one of our players from soccer. He had to give up basketball. He said his foot and his ankle was hurting. So he's going to save himself for soccer. Great night in Wisconsin. I drove in, Jim. It was 3 degrees. Not much to do but sit in front of the fireplace and watch WLA basketball. We're glad to have you aboard tonight. Got a great halftime show coming up. A couple of little secrets from our coach.
John, I got a little question here for you. Now, we're graduates of the 80s. We might be biased, but the 80s has to be the best music because they still play it at all the sporting events today.
Yep. Oh, and there's a travel. We're not going to call things tonight much. We're going to let them play. Yeah, Sweet Home Alabama, Jim. That dates us all, doesn't it? Drives to the hole. Nice drive. Noah Lorenz with some really nice defense. Bad luck, Mason Herkstroder.
Once again, WLA gives up the second chance points, and this time it's a 3.
And Herkstroder says, yeah, I didn't box out very well. I better make it up or I'm going to the bench. He drives a nice one to the hole and finishes. For me tonight, Jim, it's all about finishing because they really needed to work on that from the last game that I watched. And they're doing a nice job. I wish Schrader would have taken it there.
Well, you know, this is a marathon here. This is 22 regular season games and then the tournament. If you're Coach Nell, you want to be looking at consistency, not necessarily the score, but how they're getting their baskets, how they're running their offense, how they're taking care of the ball, how they're boxing out and playing defense. That will all factor into their ultimate success. So a lot of little things to look at instead of just the scoreboard tonight, I think. That was good help defense right there, John.
Yes, it was. I think they just feel like they need to beat up on somebody, Jim. You know, once in a while it just feels good to be able to just, hey, we're going to take it to these guys. But you're right. I mean, having them improve, a challenge there and a foul from North Fond du Lac. But it's all about improvement. You know, if you want to get better, I always say the Badger football, Badger basketball. What makes those great programs, they get better every week.
More
every
consistent.
Week.
Yep.
And you watch them from, I watched Badger football, and it's like, okay, their offense was really sputtering at the beginning of the year. And then when you watch the first half of Penn State, holy cow, it was,
They were clicking. Yeah.
looked like two different teams. So to me, it's about, can WLA boys improve as they go. So
now, if Noah Lorenz watches this tape, that last spin move was fantastic, but the guys come to help from the weak side. So next time you spin, don't be committed to shoot. Take a look. You got to dump off right there for a layup.
Yeah. Play your other big guy or dump it off for a three. Lots of opportunities there. Thiesfeld getting in for the first time. I think that's the first time. Aggressive player, and there he is. Working hard. Alex with a big
for
arm.
Your trailer here. We got a dunk. Oh.
That was good to have him go against a 4-year starter, Jim. Getting a little experience there. And he drew a foul. WLA up 32-17, 4 minutes, 16 seconds left. WLA's ball underneath. Oh, wide open, Jim.
Yep, got to be quicker on that one there. Good play, though. Excellent inbounds.
In and out. Alex with the rebound, and this time finishes. I like the play was open, but yeah, could have got it up just a hair faster and might have went in. Noah Lorenz out to challenge him. Tough shot. North Fond du Lac in and out. Here he comes down and takes it to the hole. Jim, those are the ones that, either you dunk it or you use the backboarders.
You're exactly right, John. That's a hard angle right there, a tough angle to lay it in.
And you come in so fast, it's not in your favor. It's like playing the slots in Vegas. Yep. Chances are you're going to lose. And he gets hit from behind on that play.
Once again, great aggressive move going to the basket. What he's got to start looking for now is, where's the double team coming from? Where can I kick it for an easy basket?
Boy, Alex got away with one there. Most refs would have called that a foul kind of over his shoulder, but I couldn't tell if there was body contact.
One thing I can say for certain is the bigs for WLA are as talented with the ball handling as any bigs I've ever seen. For 6'7" kids, it's just wonderful to see them dribble, penetrate. They're really good with the ball.
Here's a tip ball by Mason. We've got good hands tonight. Boy, North Fond du Lac is just cold in their shooting from outside. I like the play there.
There's a little bit of soccer. Take it to the baseline and kick it to the 6, right?
Yeah, exactly. Josh Thiesfeld, aggressive, very good offensive play. We're going to run a little bit. Mason had an opportunity. They were running there. I'm a big guy that likes to push the ball, and that's just not quite the way to do it. Ooh,
right there,
close.
Right there, that was not a good inbounds. That close. That either goes in the backcourt, or you go down to the baseline on that. Almost turned it over there.
Not a good passer. Noah either wasn't aggressive enough to get that pass or was too weak. I don't like to see turnovers. That
almost again there.
I'll tell you what, he hit one of those the other night. I didn't think he could shoot a 3, Jim, and he hits one tonight. Zach with a nice play. Come on now, finish the ball. Where's the backboard? 3 offensive rebounds, but we couldn't quite put it in. You need to make yourself a little bit of space down there. When guys are right on you, you got to do a little bit of pivoting or turn or get your body so you can push them away a little bit. He didn't need to do that.
And there's a good coaching point right there to tell Eric you don't have to. You can let that ball go in the backcourt and you're not going to get penalized for it.
But again, I see a lot of makeup plays. Guys will make a mistake and then they'll fight like mad to make it right. And that's what happened. Boy, WLA scrapping.
That move right there by Eric Schmitz is almost unguardable. When he's under control and he gets to about 10 feet, does that little spin in the lane under control and goes up for the jumper. That is hard to guard.
Yeah, that is an extremely hard thing to guard. See how Alex does on the line. Puts the first one in. Jim, his shot is getting much better. First game we saw him play, I didn't think he had much of a backspin on his shot. Looking much better tonight.
Yep. Form looks better, but more important, there's confidence. You can see it in his eyes. He's feeling more confident out there playing varsity basketball.
30-second timeout taken by the Orioles.
We got a timeout. WLA up 40-19. That would mean WLA has a 21-point lead with 1:35 left in the first half. Jim, I saw a lot of good so far that's going on. I see some good things happening. Some confidence building. Some of the guys
I'm sorry, but they just put some John Cougar Mellencamp on, and I usually go numb. That's like my favorite dude, so I got to listen here quick. Rumble seat, probably 7, 88.
You know, I don't want to be, but I really think WLA's announcer and their music is, I think we're the best in the conference.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
Pastor Litkey does a wonderful job.
And his voice is just so good.
What it does is it brings a little energy to the gym. You've been in a lot of gyms where it's just dead, you know.
There's a nice strip right there. Alex got a little excited.
Alex Steele, I want you to watch this, and I want you to remember something. When somebody else tips the ball away and you get it, the first thing you do is give it back, son. That's how you build camaraderie.
Yeah, I think he got a little excited. His eyes were big and thought he might dunk that one, but
in all situations, whether you're up 40, down 40, or it's tied, you play the game the same way, and you always use your teammates.
Yep. I used to tell my players, Jim, we're down by 2. You should be playing the whole game that you're down by 2. Intense, intense, intense.
Right there, Mason Herkstroder, probably the nicest play we've seen tonight. Got in the lane, jump stopped, got the ball to Eric Schmidt, didn't make the layup, that's all right. Everything else was good. Execution was good.
Yep, they're trying some things. They're seeing the lanes much better tonight. Even that defensive set there, they got their hand on the ball. Oh, nice strip there.
My goodness, that's got to be Mike Beekler's son.
Yep, looks like him. And Schmitz comes down the baseline.
See that boy hang in the air? That's crazy.
I love it. My kind of basketball. Ooh. Look at it. There's scrappiness, Jim, that we haven't seen in a while. I love it.
I especially like to see that out of Mason because that's going to go a long way for building confidence with his teammates. You get on the floor, you get dirty, go after the ball, do whatever it takes.
I used to say at the end of the game, I'd look at all the guys' knees. If you played hard, your knees were burnt. You know, you had floor burns. Then I knew you were playing hard. So I remember some of the kids, yeah, coach, I got 3 of them. It was like a badge of honor.
Final seconds of the half here. Ooh,
and
no foul there. A little dangerous. We almost hacked them there, John.
Nice, really block. Jim, 4 fouls and 6. Not a lot called out on the floor. WLA up 42-21, doubled up on them. I like what they're doing. I like that the bench players are getting some playing time, Jim, and I like that we're building some confidence. So what's your take on the first half, Jim?
Yep, you're 100% right, John. What WLA needs is they need to experience some success, and they need to really maybe overpower a team and kind of dominate a team, and they're doing that.
Little
tonight.
spanking. Yeah. Little spanking is always good. Well,
they need that, so we'll see what happens in the second half.
Yeah, second half. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We're going to take you to a great interview with Coach for our halftime show. We'll be right back after the halftime show. Here we are tonight with our halftime show with Coach Marty Nell. Marty, we got a few games under our belt. How, in your opinion, are things going?
It's gone good. We struggled a little early on, mainly just trying to find our identity defensively. We've kind of broken that down a little bit now, and we're going to start getting better right now.
Last time we were here, Marty, for the Jim and John show, we were broadcasting the Springs game. What a game. It came right down to the last second, Marty. What's your take on that game?
That was a fun game. We felt it was a game we could have had. We were a couple rebounds and a few less turnovers away from winning that one. Springs is going to be tough. We know that. We know they're always going to have good athletes, and we're excited to get the chance to play them again here next month.
Yeah, Marty, it was great. You got to take the team up to Minnesota on a big tournament. Boy, how did that turn out for you?
Oh, we had a lot of fun in Minnesota. We ended up losing to St. Croix in our first game. It was a really competitive game. Second game, we beat West Lutheran. It was a good win for us, and the kids just had a good time overall, seeing the college campus and being a part of the college life for a couple days.
Speaking of a good time and being with family and friends, Christmas is coming, and besides eating all those cookies, what's the plans for the team over the holidays?
I guess we're all going over to the Calkins household for cookies, but no, I'll just get together with family and just the normal stuff.
And the basketball team going to spend a little time?
We'll be hard at work that whole week, practicing in the gym.
Good. Well, WLA up 42-21. Getting ready to start the second half. Jim, all I want for Christmas is a Charleston Chew.
Hey, how about that for a halftime snack?
Hey, I'll tell you what, the Charleston Chew was awesome at halftime. So if we get our sugar buzz going again, Jim, and we say something wacky, just give me an old whack upside the head.
Well, you know, last time we did this was leftover Halloween candy at a soccer game, and I think you and I both got a little too much sugar. I think too excited that night.
I think I ate a few calories. Halloween was not good to me. North Fond du Lac starting off with the ball. Jim, the halftime stats. WLA ended up with 6 turnovers. North Fond du Lac had 13. WLA out-rebounded them 30 rebounds to 13. So from the stats, obviously, is a reflection of the score. Doing a little bit of what I call the Mississippi Drive, Jim, up top.
Yep, that's an old Springs standby there. They used to run that against us every night.
Shoots his first 3 off, another banker. Ooh, most games that would have been a foul. Nice hands.
Incredible
by
amount
Alex.
Of contact with a 3-man crew that's not being called. Great finish by Eric Schmitz.
Yeah, nice to have
it. Here it is, John. Here it is. This is what I talked about. 1-3-1, 3-quarter court.
Yeah.
Big 6'7" kid up top.
Oh, bad pass, Jim. That could have been easily picked off, but they get a nice shot off to put it in.
That's the Achilles heel of that defense is the corners are wide open, and North Fond du Lac found that right off the bat.
Yep, they played it. You got to be able to move. Really tough entrance pass in. Eric Schmitz with a nice long shot. Noah Lorenz puts it back up and in. What I liked about Eric Schmitz on the series before that, we really missed that when he was injured, and he has that opportunity to square up his body and go and finish a shot. Nice defense.
Yeah, I think this 1-3-1 3-quarter, and then they'll fall back into an actual 1-3-1 flat half-court defense is really going to give some teams some trouble because of our length. Yeah, I like Alex if he keeps his hands up. You know, and you got Eric Schmitz back there on the back end that can move. Yep. You know, it all starts up front with Alex Keel. Exactly. Whatever pressure he puts on, that's what the other boys are gonna do. That guy's got to be more active up top than anyone. Exactly. Nice feed down below, give and go. A lot of fouling going on. Got a little lucky there. We left our feet again, but fortunately drew a foul.
Yep. I'd like to see Noah Lorenz put on 40 pounds of muscle over the summer going into his senior year. Not that he hasn't gained some muscle since he was a sophomore, but when you grow so fast, you get a little stringy.
I think the football and basketball coaches would like to see that too, John.
Well, I got 40 pounds to give him, but the muscle part I'm not so sure about. In and out there. Look at the defense. Nice pressure. I'd like to see Alex continue to get his hands. Don't let him see. Attaboy. You know, when you're that tall and they can't see around you, good things can happen. Oh, I thought he was going to bring her home. You know, if he plays that 1-3-1, he can get a lot of cheap baskets up there, Jim.
Yep.
A lot of cherry picking.
Here's what you see with here's what you see with a press like that. It goes one of two ways, John. Either the other team breaks it, gets a couple of baskets, or the confidence grows and you get about a 7-8 point run like we just saw there for the Vikings.
Yeah, it's killer. Coach from North Fond du Lac, Chris, has to call a timeout and get the troops regrouped. WLA 50, North Fond du Lac 24, 15 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second half. Fans are sticking around. Cheerleaders are working hard. I can smell the popcorn from here. And the Charleston Chews are going down.
Oh, they're delicious.
Good to have Caleb home over the holidays. Good to see him tonight.
Yeah, I got to have dinner with my son tonight. If you can call B-Dub's dinner, that's what we had. I'm not quite sure the wings are going to stay down. You know. No, it's great to have him. Actually, all three of my boys will be home for the weekend, so that's wonderful.
That's awesome. Gives new meaning to that 80s song, I'll Be Home for Christmas. Oh, maybe that's not
80s.
Maybe that's not 80s.
That's older than Burl Ives.
But this one's definitely an 80s song. North Fond du Lac with the ball underneath the WLA basket. They're going into a full court man-to-man, Jim.
Yeah, I like this move. Marty wanted to just take a look at that 1-3-1. He saw what he needed to see. Now let's work on something else here.
You know, that's the best thing about the man-to-man, when the backside guy sneaks around and almost gets it. Yeah, Marty's got to be really happy. I know they worked really hard in practice yesterday. Mason puts up a three in the air. Zach, a little hesitation, trying to bank it. Boy, when you have that many opportunities with offensive rebounds, Jim, there's the spin move. Nobody comes up on him that time, and he finishes.
I guess the thing I love about these different defenses is WLA can dictate the tempo. And when you can do that in a basketball game, you're going to win probably 8 or 9 out of 10 when you dictate the tempo and make their offense adjust to what you're doing defensively. So really like to see these different looks here.
Zach Ray bringing the ball up slow, taking it easy. Alex with a nice shot, just a little short. Had a little bit more time, Jim, to get that out of his hand. He turned and shot so fast.
Yeah. Kind of almost fading a little bit on that instead of straight up.
Yeah.
That's one thing about called plays, set plays like that. Kids know if I get the ball, I'm going to get it after this pass, and they almost predetermine that they're going to shoot it no matter what the defense gives them for opportunities.
Yeah, that almost looked like... Whoops.
Right there you saw the best and worst of Eric Schmidt playing safety on that 1-3-1 on the backside, picks it off, comes down, has two guys open, and instead of jump stopping, jumps in the air, and you know what happens next.
Yep. Plays good defense. Zach Ray right in his face makes the kid shoot an air ball. I think somebody tipped that ball.
there's one of the Achilles heel of the 1-3-1 is the weak side rebound. Obviously, North Fond du Lac's probably the shortest team that they're going to face all year, or one of them. But you get against a bigger team and you don't box out on that weak side wing, you're in trouble.
Yeah, speaking of short teams, they just put a heck of a nice pass over the top to Noah. Noah takes it and puts it against the backboard and does a nice job of scoring. Mason Herkstroder there trying to shut off the line. Gets his foot on the line, but a little late and gets called for a foul. Not a lot of fouls again this half, Jim. We're 13 minutes in and 2-1. We got a total of 3 fouls. It's kind of more of a relaxed game. Obviously, there's a scoring difference. Number 5, their best player, comes in hard. Eric Schmitz got called for that. I thought that might have been going against Mason Herkstroder, but it was Schmitz got him. You know, Dawson had an absolutely perfect shooting at the line. Now he comes up and makes that one short, but he really does have a nice shot. You know, there's an old rule, Jim, that you always shoot short when you're a little bit tired. That first shot, I always tell kids, you got to shoot that first shot a little bit longer.
You kind of feel a little bit for Dawson. He has to do a lot for this kind of undermanned North Fond du Lac team.
Yeah, like right there. I mean, he seems like to be one of the only guys that really wants to attack the basket. The rest want to move the ball around. Not really attacking, not looking for those opportunities. Now Schmitz, he'll look for that opportunity, takes it to the hole. Tough angle, Jim. Got to move in and hit the backboard a little bit better, or lay it in.
Yep, exactly. That was a real tough angle there.
Oh, they challenged him, Jim.
Holy cow.
They're going to let him play tonight.
Yeah, I know I've said this a couple times. That's the most contact I've seen in a long time tonight. Very few called. Either way.
You know, and if they're not going to call it, Jim, you got to take advantage of it, in my opinion. You got to play hard. Right there's the same thing. And another one, now that one they called.
Yeah, you're exactly right, John, because somewhere down the line in the tournament, you're going to get a crew that's going to let them play and play and play.
Yep. And if you don't play up to the line, you know, the other team will. You know, you can get outplayed, just out-physicaled. So, Alex at the line. Started off a little bit better at the line. He's went cold the last couple of times up at the line. In and out. John O'Connor seeing the floor. Now he's starting his substitution rotation. Saw Brennan Kuhlebert come in as well. 55-27 with 12 minutes in the game. WLA up. Dawson takes that shot. See what I mean, Jim? They're just not, I mean, North Fond du Lac, unless it's Dawson, it's not a lot going on.
No, a couple kids that like to shoot the three, but nobody really wants to get to the basket or make anything happen.
There's the first in a while. Takes it to the hole, puts it in. Wizak right out. Mason Herkstroder bringing the ball up as the point guard. Kuhlebert handles it on the right-hand side, dumps it down to Alex. Now, can he finish? First one, no. Second one was definitely a foul and a no call. Out of bounds off of his foot. Good practice for Alex, trying to finish those shots underneath Jim.
Yeah, and first thing I look at, each time the WLA kids have gone down there and maybe gotten hacked or whatever, is I'd like to look at their face, and none of them come out scowling. They understand they should have made it. Sure, maybe it was a foul, but you got to keep your composure. That's what's going to win games later in the season. Keep your composure.
Absolutely. Nice rebound. WLA bringing it up. Mason sees the opening, and that's what you want to see. he saw the opening, Jim. It was wide open, and that's opportunity basketball. Take it to the hole.
You know, it's Christmas time, John, and, you know, I don't know what Mason Herkstroder's going to ask for, because he's already got 2 6'7" guys that are going to be occupied down low, probably double team. He's got a couple guys that can shoot the 3. He doesn't need anything else. It's going to be one-on-one, go to the basket whenever you can. I mean, I like his situation big time.
Nice shot there to put that in. When you're talking, can you hear yourself, Jim?
Yes.
Good. Just doing a little technical check there. Coulibaert playing nice defense, not allowing him to get a layup there. Comes in and gives him some help. 2 very nice plays in a row.
It's going to be important here the last 10 minutes. The game's out of question. The Vikings are going to win it, but, you know, we need to look at the kids that are getting time now. This isn't garbage time. This is very important because the bench is still being built. The rotation is still being filled in. Some very important minutes coming up for a lot of WLA Vikings.
Yeah, you're only, you know, the old saying, you're only as good as your bench, you know, because, yeah, 5 guys are out on the floor, but you need a lot more than 5 players to have a good season. You got to have 7 or 8 really good players, and those other 2 have to be improving. So, you know, 10 players, and you got some seniors on the bench, but you got some young kids on the bench too.
Oh, dare I say, John, that Keel looks better from the free throw line than he does from the block. His rotations and his form is wonderful. I mean, to see that out of a couple 6'7" kids are incredible. The touch on their shot.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an illegal screen there. You don't get to see it called that often, especially when you're not playing an intense game. But North Fond du Lac called for that. Tyler, number 21. Coulibaert messing with the ball a little bit. John O'Connor, you saw it in his eyes. He said, I am going to take it to the hole. And he did, unfortunately. Not 2 points, but I like that he was aggressive on the play.
Very aggressive move.
Nice play there by North Fond du Lac to finish. Coulibaert playing the point guard right now. Looks for John O'Connor, sees it again.
Wow. That's a hack fest.
Somebody has to get it and put it in.
I think there's a rule after the 5th time you have to give it to the other team, don't you?
Yeah. That's like 10 in golf, Jim.
Yeah, write it down and away you go.
Yeah, let's talk about that last. Tipping it in, off-balance shots. You got to almost grab that ball, bring it, do something with it. Or final echo, another screen that was questionable, but
I'm kind of surprised to see we still got our 2 big twin towers out there.
yeah, me too. Luke Slavinsky playing some really nice defense.
That kid is all hustle. You just love watching Luke play.
There was one of the nicer plays by North Fond du Lac, Jim.
Yep. Of course, Luke Slavinsky from the dynasty known as the Fox Lake Panthers, who've dominated Wasack for many, many, many years under the tutelage of Big Jim Farron.
Back in for the Vikings, number 32, Zach Schrader.
Zach Schrader coming in, first time second half. One of the Twin Towers going out, Noah Lorenz. Very important, Jim, like you said, for these players to get those minutes, get some confidence at the varsity level, and do something with it. Play some good defense. Get some scoring. I like the defensive closeouts, Jim. Look at them. They're doing well here.
Yep, just miscommunication right there cost them a shot between Coulibaert and O'Connor. Just got to talk on that, talk your way through it.
Coolibert bringing the ball up for WLA. Over to Luker. A little bit of rotation up the top. Swings it around pretty quick, John O'Connor. Looking for that backdoor cut. And they're going to reset their offense. Be patient, right, Jim? Let the offense work.
Well, we're in no rush right here. Coach wants to see it done right. Kudos to him.
Yep. Coolibert saw an opening there. He was going to take advantage of it. Nice defense to stay with his guy. And a shot off, a three for North Fond du Lac. And he hits it. And the Krupp boy, we know the Krupps. Hits a nice three-pointer, good for him. 62-34, WLA up. Just under 7 minutes to play. Oh, nice backdoor, and he finishes it. Nice pass by Coolibert to Luke Slavinsky for two. Jammed up that center really nice and created a turnover.
Yeah, good defense there. You're right. Luke created a turnover.
Clogged up that ability to see. Josh Thiesfeld seeing the floor for the first time in the second half. I like what Josh did the first half. He was very aggressive. Let's see what he does when he's out on the floor here. These five guys work together in practice as a team quite a bit, so they're used to playing with each other. Same play this time. North Fond du Lac got a block on Luke. Coolibert's coming out playing with some confidence on defense.
He's well put together. You can see he's hit the weights a little bit. Good strong upper body.
And there he is. Gets a nice rebound. One thing I notice about point guards that don't get a lot of playing time, they always look right. The guy, if you notice that, Jim, the left side of the whole court on that play was wide open. If he would have looked left, thrown it left, they had an easy layup. But that's a right-handed point guard tends to only look right at times. Foul on WLA. Sixth foul for WLA. 6 fouls for WLA, 5 for North Fond du Lac.
Team ball number 6. Dawson wants it down at the line.
64-34. WLA up 30 points.
He's shooting 2 shots.
And he backed away, Jim, on that.
You can see that. That didn't have a chance to go in.
Yep. First one, short and backs away. Second one, it's like right out of the book. Gonna shoot short on the first one. WLA coming down with the ball. 5 minutes, 41 seconds left on a great December night in Fond du Lac. I think we're down to minus 65 with the wind chill. Scrum at half court, jump ball. WLA's ball. Possession arrow. Do I see Jeremy Thiesfeld in from Washington Madison doing a little stuff at the clock tonight? Great to have him doing some volunteer work for the local school. Of course, his son goes here to WLA. And there he is. Gives it off. Luke Slavinsky slaughtered a little bit, Jim, but...
John, help me with the last name here for us, number 5. Inbounding.
Coolibert, number 5.
Very, very impressed with this young man. Just kind of watching him, not watching the ball, watching him play. Quickness.
Yeah.
Can jump out of the building. He reminds me of a little Eric Schmitz, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Very athletic.
Yeah.
Kid that could really help, I think.
Well, there was a kid that I hadn't followed a lot previous to this. I know he kind of backs up. Zach Wright's got that same, almost that same type of body style.
Yeah, very impressed with him.
Yeah, very, very good tonight playing defense.
Zach Schrader gets in the scoring column. Love cheering for that kid. Wonderful young man.
Yep.
From Peace Green Lake.
Yep. Gotta like the kids that come in from out of town, all that driving.
Even the Lamira ones, John?
Yeah, that's a long drive, Jimmy. No, I was thinking more about the Oshkosh
I know,
kids.
but I say, you said you like to see them coming in. I said, does that apply to the Lamira kids too, or do you just take them? No comment.
Yeah, as a commuter coming in from Oshkosh, I always feel sorry for the kids that come from a distance because they have to spend a little bit of time in the car, especially if they play sports. They don't get home till really late at night.
Big commitment. Big commitment.
Not only for them, but we want to thank those parents that are tuning in that do that work from Peace and all those outlying areas. Fox Lake.
I remember years past, John, when I was helping coach here at the academy, that a lot of times those late nights somehow that kid would find a bed in here in Fond du Lac at his buddy's house. So it's nice that you guys, a lot of the Fond du Lac families were willing to do that because it doesn't pay to drive back home and then come back at 6:30 in the morning. So
absolutely. Josh Seesfeld comes in for National Exchange Bank and puts it in off the bank on the free throw. Josh, it's nice to see these young guys getting some minutes and doing well. And they're going against, Dawson there, 4-year starter.
Yeah, you kind of wish he'd have a few of them fall for him. He's just really struggling. Nice back cut, John O'Connor, and a dish, and before there was a foul.
That's some good play.
Excellent for every young kid. When you're overplayed like that, whether you have the ball or not, back cut, son. Back cut, and good things will happen.
Now here's a player. Oh,
it's like Slavinsky going to. No, John.
Okay. Beekler coming in. Logan Beekler. But number 40, I think he's off of our JV team.
Yeah.
Pruss.
Yep.
Gabe Pruss coming in, seeing some minutes.
The infamous Gabe Pruss, who I think has about 3 or 4 or 5 sisters who've been good athletes here at WLA.
Yeah, and he's a tall boy.
Yes.
I mean,
another 6'5" kid you can bring in.
Yeah, I watched the JV game, and darn nice little player. I shouldn't say little, but nice player. And there he is, playing great. Look at that, Jim.
Yep.
Not only does he block it, he gets the rebound as well.
And they got another 6'5" kid on the JV. I think his name is Benji Cole. So they're going to have some unbelievable size next year on the
So
varsity.
that would be 2 twin towers that we have
or
on
Mount,
JV.
Mount Rushmore, basically. Right?
Thiesfeld taking it to the hole, being aggressive.
That's what Eddie Doucette would call a leap and leaner right there. Slavinsky under control.
Schrader going to pop one
away
up.
From Green Lake, not good. Look at that.
Wow.
Logan Beekler with the follow. Nice looking play.
Yep.
He shoots a lot better than his dad did 35 years ago, John.
I love it. Michael, did you hear all that? Yeah, Logan, nice job. He's got that little frame, not real wide kid, but he's fast.
Kind of wiry, huh? Would you say? Yeah.
Look at that.
Get a rebound, son.
Ooh.
He fought for it, and he got it.
Yep. He's like feeling that against his back, but he's like, I'm not going to let anybody know my kidney's killing me.
Are you kidding? I've been waiting all night to get in here. I'm not coming out now.
Whoop. Turnover WLA there. 70-35. WLA up with 2 minutes, 33 seconds left in the game. 3 seconds, but they'll let that go. That was like a running jump stop ballerina miscue.
No, actually, that was an NBA move, John. Plus, he could have taken one more if he would have really wanted.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's why I always told my kids never watch the NBA. Watch high school or college.
Yeah, even I notice even they'll take a step before they take a dribble. In high school, they call that traveling, and man, they just don't call any of that.
Oh, Schrader with a hop step. Beekler's feeling it.
Oh, Logan with a shot. Nice rebound again. Now, he brought it down, Jim. That's a JV whoopsie mistake. When you're a big guy like that, you got to keep it away from the small guys. Got to keep that ball up high.
Yep, you're exactly right. But he went and got it. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I love the fact that he was hungry and went aggressively at that ball.
John, I thought they got rid of the 2-minute warning in high school basketball.
2-minute warning. 35-70 WLA. There's another, there's an example. Shoot short on the first shot. I should have the 10 rules of basketball. You're always going to shoot short on the free throw.
I'd start off with that, and I'd have about 88 instead of 10.
And it looks like we're going to take a timeout. 1:55 left. 70-35 WLA. Jim, WLA is putting in the work tonight. This is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yep. Conference win, home win. A very convincing game. Was never in doubt, John, from the tip. And I think, coach is probably going to study some stuff and have a lot of things to bring to his team's attention, but he's got to feel good about the way tonight played out for the Vikings. Like you said, just what they needed.
Yeah, I had a little opportunity to talk with your buddy, Mike Schroffnagel, one of the assistants, and one of the things he and I were discussing is this kind of a game, you want to play up at a level above your competition. You don't want to play down to that competition because you aren't going to learn anything. And I think tonight they've done that. I think they've played a couple of levels. I'll even give them credit. At times, 3 levels above their competition, right, but definitely playing above the competition.
Yep, that's important, John, because every night you play against yourselves and against the game. And you're right. I thought they did a wonderful job of that tonight. And again, changing defenses, they've dictated the tempo tonight.
Yeah, I was really impressed. The 1-3-1, full court and half-court defense, I thought they did real well. I'd like to see Alex's hands a little bit higher. But I don't know if it was that St. Cat's game, Jim, years back. They had that guy up on the top of the 1-3-1. Yeah. Was amazing. Holy cow. You could hardly get the ball around that guy. You
just mentioned Mike Schroffnagel a few seconds ago, and Mike and I were talking about that, how what WLA does reminds him of what St. Cat's did. And, of course, they were the team to beat us to go to state that year with their big 6'5" kid who went on to Green Bay on a 4-year scholarship.
Yeah, he was an athlete. Logan Beekler put in a nice shot there. Put WLA up 72-37 with just about a minute 3 left. Coming down to the last minutes. Yeah, Mikey got a lesson in what a point guard or a 1-3-1 can do to you.
Yeah, if you're long and you're active, it can be a devastating defense.
Yeah, back and forth there. .41 seconds left.
Well, John, we're not going to be doing any more. Are we before Christmas, John?
Yeah, no, this is it for us before Christmas. So we want to wish everybody what?
Hey, Merry Christmas. No happy holidays here. It's Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Don't forget to put the Christ in Christmas. From Jim and John. Have a safe and blessed holiday. Give all your family big hugs and kisses.
What's your home address again in case anybody wants to drop a gift off, John?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Somewhere in Lamira. Fighting to the last minutes.
Good for him.
North Fond du Lac coming down and putting a basket in.
score of this evening's varsity contest.
Yeah, just to wrap it up, Jim, I think WLA accomplished absolutely everything they wanted to accomplish tonight. Their starters played well. Their bench came in and played well. They played good defense, good offense, good stats, and they needed some confidence.
Yep, a definite step in the right direction for the Vikings.
Good for you and good for WLA. Score ends 72-41. Tune in next time. We'll keep you abreast, and maybe after the holidays we'll be able to get our live streaming up. We'll see what happens. For Jim and John, good night and Merry Christmas. Here we are with Mason Herkstroder and Alex Keel. Just what the doctor ordered, right? Doesn't it feel good? We'll start with you, Mason. Didn't this victory tonight feel pretty good?
Yes, we came out with a lot of energy and really played good defense.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. Alex, I was amazed. I looked at the stats. Do you know you had 8 offensive rebounds?
I did not.
You actually led the team with 11 total rebounds. So part of the Twin Towers. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels good just to get back in the rhythm after bouncing back from a few losses, just to get kind of things flowing again, get the chemistry built back up where it should be.
We call you the Twin Towers, you and Noah there. Normally you don't have one guy that plays outside, one that plays inside. You hit a 3, and then you came inside and scored. What's up with that?
I mean, we have 2 different offenses for like trying to take them down on the block, and then me, I got shoot the 3 ball sometimes, so I pop out and kind of distract them with that.
Okay. Mason, second leading scorer. Maybe you didn't even know that. 12 points. Good game. What I liked is, again, inside-outside play. It's kind of nice having Schmitz there. I got 2 guys that can drive, and that's what you did tonight a couple of times. Drove to the hole. What goes through your mind when you're going towards that hole?
I just try to stay low and protect the ball when I go up. Try and lay it off the glass.
Yeah. Finish, right? That was the highlight of our show. Let's finish tonight, because you didn't finish well against Ripon, but you guys finished well tonight. And how about start with you, Mason, the 1-3-1. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we put that in a few weeks ago. Just give a different look, and it really paid off tonight. Really worked well.
Yeah, very important for the top guy up there, Alex, in that 1-3-1 with big hands, tall. You know, what's your strategy?
You know, just try to stay in line with the guy with the ball and the guy on the opposite side, and just try to get a touch and get a fast break like we did that a few times tonight, and I think it worked good.
Yeah, it was nice that your bench you didn't have to play all the minutes tonight, right?
Yeah.
You know, you get your bench guys, which work hard, you know, you're with practice with them, they got a chance to play too. And what did you see from any of your bench players? What did you see, Mason?
They kept the energy going when they went in, and turned the ball over and played well.
Well, was it a fun one?
Yeah. Like what he said, the bench just keeps us going and motivated, and when they get their chance, they showed us.
Great. Well, have a super Christmas, you guys. Get some work in over the holidays, and we'll see you next year. Thanks a lot. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get all the updates. Hey, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the 15th.